Hey guys, this is the third video in lesson 8 as we continue to work on finding and modeling area by using tiles with unit fraction side lengths. Okay, so hopefully you're understanding how to use tiles that have whole number side lengths, right? 1, 2, 3, but we're also working now on fraction side lengths. And I'm opening up an interactive for us to use, and it's going to be number 19. So we're just going to flip forward to that one. And once we get there, we will be doing some experimenting with fraction side lengths, unit fractions, always having the number 1 on the top. Okay, so how many square tiles with side lengths of 1/2 did we need to cover 1 unit squared? So if we have side lengths of 1/2, it's not letting me do it with 1/2 here for some reason. But remember when we had the 1/2, that would be back here a little bit, right? And we had 4 of them that had a side length of 1/2. Remember, we could picture this one unit covering up, or 1/4 of the patty paper, it had 1/2 on the side. So that would fill up our unit here with 4 of them. Okay, so that was 4. Now, would it take more or fewer tiles that have side lengths of 1/3? So if it was 1/3, would it be more or less than 4 to cover it? What do you think about that? Let's see if we can get this to work here for us. There we go. Okay, so 1/2, right? Sometimes these things aren't as easy as they look like they would be, right? And we tile it, we can see that 4 tiles fit on there. All right, so now 1/3, there's 1/3, and we're still using our 1 by 1 unit square. And now we have 1/3 on the side length, right? So it's 1/3 of the total 1. And when we tile it, we can see that now we need 9 tiles. Why does that work? Because 1/3 is less than 1/2, right? 1/2 is only going to need 2 tiles, and 1/3 we need 3 tiles, right? That makes sense. Okay, now another question is, what is the area of one of these small tiles? What is the area of this tile right here? And there's actually 2 ways to find it. Let me grab a pen here. One way is to think about 1 square unit, right? I'm just going to write unit squared. 1 square unit. I could also write out square unit. And I didn't mean to write equals. I meant to write divided by, because I'm dividing that 1 square unit. Oh, it doesn't want to erase. Don't know why. Okay. All right, so let's just change it to dividing by. 1 square unit divided by 9. Why am I dividing 1 square unit by 9? Because you can see I have 9 pieces there that cover it, right? So 1 square unit divided by 9, that's going to, now it wants to erase. Okay, 1 square unit divided by 9. That means that each one of those is 1/9 of a square unit, right? Do you see that? That makes sense, right? So if I take 1 square unit, I divide it into 9 pieces. Each one is 1/9. The other way would be that I have 1/3 of a side here, 1/3 of a side here, 1/3 times 1/3, right? Multiplying straight across, 1/3 times 1/3 equals 1/9. Yeah, okay. So that means that this one little square, oh, lost my pen. This one little square here, wow, the computer and I are not getting along very well right now. Anyway, this square right here, if I color it in, if I color in that one square, there we are, then that would be 1/9 of my total square, right? Okay, fabulous. Now let me see if I can open this again because I really want to use that interactive. There we go. Okay, and let's think about what would happen. How many square tiles with the side length of 1/4 would we need to cover that unit squared? What if we had 1/4? And you know what? Let's make that question 1 in Edpuzzle. How many square tiles with the side length of 1/4? I think I have it here. There you go. Do you need to cover the unit square? And how do you know? Please make sure you tell me, how do you know? And that will be in Edpuzzle for you. All right. Awesome. And hopefully what you were thinking about in that 1/4, almost had 1/4 there, 1/4. And then how many of them would go? Let's tile that. There we go. So if it's 1/4, that means I'm going to have 4 in this direction, 4 in this direction. 4 times 4 is 16. So I would need 16 of them. And hopefully you can tell me how you would know. Also, what would be the area of one of those 1/4 units? That would be 1/16. 1 out of 16, or 1/4 times 1/4 makes 1/16. Okay, then I have one more question for you, which is how many square tiles of side lengths 1/5 would you need to cover the unit square? So if I have 1/5, right, I'm going to need 5 of them, and I'm going to need 5 of them. 5 times 5 is 25. So I need 25 small square tiles to cover 1 unit square, and each one would have the area of 1/25. Okay, so in lesson 8, you are finding areas of square tiles with fraction side lengths, right? We're talking about unit squares. We're talking about fractional tiles that fit on those unit squares. And when you do your work, right? When you do your practice work, you're going to be doing the same sort of thing. Use the picture of the unit square. How many square tiles are used to break it into ninths? Each square has a side length of, so what would be the side length here? A lot in the lesson, I gave you the side length, but now they're telling you it's broken into ninths. So what is the side length? And you can look right here to see how many fit there, right? And draw a line to match the square tile to the picture that shows one square unit covered with that tile. So with this is 1/5, which one has 5? If this is 1/6, which one has 6, right? Okay, thinking it through, sometimes in a bit of a different way than what we did in the lesson, because we're extending your thinking in different ways. All right, thanks for your hard work. Let's watch some more funny farm animals, specifically goats.
Move.
All right. Thanks for all your hard work. Aloha.